Rick Hom here for Hollywood First Look. Today, I'm talking with the cast of Three Body Problem. Let's take a first look. You two are also no strangers to having to see visual effects, especially like in fantasy. So I was wondering for you two just kind of seeing this science.
Well, it's extraordinary. It's our VFX in the show are not for the sake of it. And what we're trying to do is be as absolutely realistic to the time that we're in, i.e. now. And some of it was so imaginative, as in the game, when we're trying to explain 10 dimensions, when we can barely manage 3, is extraordinarily difficult because it's never been done before. It's incredibly difficult to explain, even from an astrophysicist. And then you're asking, VFX artists, okay, let's have a look at your 10 dimensions here. It's a job that I'm not sure I'd like, but we have to touch on this. At the same time, this is not just a story about 10 dimensions and existential threats and all that. This is a very human story against a backdrop, a science fiction backdrop. It's what we hang our human stories on, the hook that our hat of humanity is hung upon. So I would absolutely recommend that anybody who kind of pawns off and go, oh, science fiction is not my thing, this will change your mind.
The terrain of humanity, there are many layers to it, and the micro and macro of this story, and the constant questions that we'll be asking as viewers, and who we are empathetic to and who we side with, and it's people are going to be in for a massive ride.
Yeah.
It's one thing to kind of understand the story and then, talk to the showrunners, and you're really thinking about your character more than anything because your character has this really good journey and arc. But the second half of this too, it's sci-fi. So just kind of seeing the special effects put in and seeing the end result, I was wondering what your reactions were. Rosalind, I know that I usually see you do more grounded things. So I was wondering how you seeing kind of just the science of it all, or the special effects of it all.
Well, here's the thing. I am not a sci-fi fan, so I don't watch a lot of those shows that have all the special effects and green screens. So from my point of view, I wasn't even aware a lot of the times that was, it didn't change anything for me. But then I saw the show and I realized, it was so much more than I thought was happening at the time. I was a little clueless. I was really about the relationships when we were filming, and when things were added, it caught me by surprise. I honestly, this is the first time I've watched myself. I know. I still haven't seen Joy Luck Club all the way through.
Wow.
I know.
I feel lucky that I wasn't allowed to be on set with the other cast, so I was kind of isolated. That gives me privilege to watch the show just like an audience, and it shocked me so much.
Honestly, we read it in the script, but there were scenes that I don't want to, add spoilers, but there were scenes that literally I screamed when they happened, and then I rewound to watch it again and again and again.
So what's interesting about this, it's the process is that both of you're thinking about your characters, the emotions, what's going on. But there's one variable that sometimes on set's not always there, and it's the special effects. So I was wondering what your reactions were finally to be able to kind of see everything put in, to be like, okay, this is the stuff that I'm imagining, this is stuff that I'm seeing.
I think they did a really good job preparing us for what we were going to film by having a lot of concept art and showing us general pictures of what we were supposed to be looking at. And at that point, you just got to trust the people that you're working with. These guys don't take any of the work that they do lightly. So, you got to trust that the end result is going to be spectacular. And you have the expectation. But I definitely feel like once we saw it for the first time, it exceeded those expectations. I myself didn't have much special effects, but I know Eiza had quite a bit, as did Jess and John. So
Yeah, you just have to play with your imagination. I guess it goes back to why we wanted to be actors when we were children, you know? It's like being a child and make-believe and creating these, like, stories in your head and castles and versions of that. And so we literally got to, like, Jess and John are, like, creating castles in their brains. And so that was fun. I think that when you have projects like that, it's happened to me before with Godzilla versus Kong, when you're just on a set and you don't know, it actually lets you, as when you're done with the show and you watch it or the movie, to enjoy it as an audience member because it's your first time, versus when you are living it like a realistic film that everything is tangible there, which is also incredible as an actor in the experience within itself. But I just get to experience it as an audience member because I'm like, oh wow, this effect or that, like it's just you have never seen it before.